Hello and welcome to the Engerati studio. I'm Rob Martin. I'm joined here by Carsten Nielsen, the Head of Product Management for Smart Grid Solutions at Kamstrup. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, talk to me about next generation utility infrastructure. What does it look like?
Well, I think first of all we need to ask ourselves, why is the next generation infrastructure needed at all? We have a lot of infrastructures there already, but the answer is that if you look into the future, not only tomorrow but 15 years from now, none of the currently used infrastructures will actually solve the issues that we'll see in a number of years. So our main concern at Kamstrup when we look at new technologies is not their promised performance figures, but whether or not they will actually make sense in a utility context. So if you take IoT as an example, it's quite overhyped, basically, and we don't want to look at IoT from a technology-only perspective, but more from a utility perspective. Basically, not embracing the technology because it can connect a lot of things, but because it will actually make sense from a utility perspective. So we're looking at the challenges both for tomorrow or even today, but also 15 years from now. And that's basically why we're saying you shouldn't care about the Internet of Things, because you're not going to connect your meters to anything else on the Internet anyway. You should care about the Internet of your things, meaning that as long as you have a good connectivity to all of your meters, then you'll be fine. So having done exactly that, we believe at Kamstrup that the infrastructure has to be wireless. We also believe that it has to enable interoperability on a meter level, meaning that you can actually interchange a meter from one vendor with a meter from another vendor in the same infrastructure. And thirdly, we of course believe that the technologies used should give you an assurance of the performance, not only today and tomorrow, but also in 15 years, because the availability of a good communications infrastructure is the enabler, or is a requirement to achieve a smarter grid. So bottom line is that we believe that it's probably not only one technology, but a combination of technologies that will be the best fit. So we're actually believing in both our proven radio mesh solution and nb-iot.
Okay. And you told me I shouldn't be thinking about IoT, but but this week you announced your support for nb-iot. Talk to me about that decision. What motivated that?
Yeah, well, first of all, we see nb-iot as the only true enabler of interoperability. There are none of the other technologies that will actually give you that. Not in the moment, and as we see it, not in the future either. So in order to be able to actually use interchangeability in practice, then you'll need an infrastructure that actually provides that. And nb-iot is for us the only relevant technology that does that. And second, nb-iot is going to be ubiquitous. It's going to be everywhere, and in a few years, all countries in the world will be covered with nb-iot. So it's an infrastructure that's already there. It's for most of the LTE networks today. It's just a matter of a firmware upgrade. So it's basically cost-free for the operators to enable this infrastructure. So if it's there and it's cost-free for the utilities, then
cost-free is obviously a good thing, but not the only thing, right? What are the other benefits?
There are other benefits. So far, we've been looking into nb-iot for quite a while, and we follow it from the very birth, actually. And it seems now that the technology has matured. So now we believe it's ready to be put to use by utilities in a utility context, trying to solve the issues that are at hand for the utilities on a day-to-day basis. And naturally, we see, like you said, or we touched upon earlier, the cost of an nb-iot solution is now has now matured a bit. The operators are understanding that this is not just another P2P solution. If this is really going to get some traction, then they need to think differently about it. And that is why we see now is the time. to actually enable nb-iot.
Okay. And there is an element that sometimes utilities don't like to give up control to an operator. Is that just an inevitability?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's true that with nb-iot, you can see it as now I put all my eggs into one basket and I hand it to the operator and hope for the best. And that is the way it is. On the other hand, I think we should all be more maybe pragmatic about it, because many of the solutions that are there today are also only working due to an operator being able to provide some service, mainly maybe from a gateway in the network and to the headend system. Or often there's an operator involved anyway. Yeah. So I think that we take that risk and give away that control already today. Yeah. So in practice, I don't believe it's going to be a big change in that respect. But we do need to get some SLA guarantees or performance guarantees from the operator. And that is why I said that now that the operator is also starting to see eye to eye with us on this.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Good. Well, that seems like a good place to end, Carsten. Thanks so much for your time and sharing your thoughts on the topic. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And thank you for joining us in the Engerati studio. And there are more videos and interviews available on the Engerati YouTube channel. Goodbye.